So, mainstream media has been running a provocative headline lately. I'll read you the Washington Post's headline. Counties that host a 2016 Trump rally saw a 226% increase in hate crimes. That's the Washington Post. Vox also ran a headline. Hate crimes reportedly jumped by 226% in counties that hosted Trump campaign rallies. Maybe one more for good measure. CNN even ran an article. Now they went with a slightly different title. Why Trump Can't Lead the War Against White Supremacy. CNN links back to the Washington Post article, which begs the question, where's the Washington Post getting this 226% number? The intermesh of statistics and journalism. Always a minefield. It's a little bit like trying to find the source of the Nile River, like Dr. Livingstone, deep within the jungle of journalism, trying to figure out where did they get this number? Well, luckily I'm here, and I have found, indeed, the original publication. And it says right here in bold letters, please do not cite without the explicit permission of the authors. Well, I wonder if CNN and Vox and Washington Post got the explicit permission of the authors. I doubt it, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, this is the source of this information, but where did they get their information? Okay, let's take a look at the data. Now, they open up with a little bit of fancy jargon. The essential part is, utilizing a negative binomial regression model, we find that counties which hosted a Trump rally saw a 22% increase in hate-motivated incidents. So the key word here is negative binomial regression model. Now, a regression model is pretty good for calculating these types of statistical, how likely something's statistically going to occur. Binomial simply means that it's a binary outcome, and that binary, yes or no, like the test is, did this light bulb turn on when we did jumping jacks? That's a yes or no question. So binomial simply means binary for the regression model. And the binary question here is, did Trump attend a rally in this county? That would be the yes or no. And then therefore, if he did we see a rise in hate crime? If so, what would be the statistical likelihood that hate crime would increase? So already we have a little bit of suspicion here that the negative binomial regression model should predict if a Trump rally occurs, what is the statistical likelihood that hate crimes would follow? Not precisely how many, what the percentage of hate crimes is. These professors, and bless their poor souls, don't really reveal their data, probably because this was a non-peer-reviewed study. That's right, this study that is found on the internet has not been peer-reviewed yet, and that's important because the academic peer review process does a good job of usually weeding out data that has been read incorrectly. And that is precisely what happened, thankfully, or fortunately. Reason.com posted a very fascinating article, a rebuttal to this, where they found that, yes, given these university professors, these Texas professors' regressive binomial logistical model, there was a rise in hate crimes when Trump attended rallies. But what if we mapped out where Hillary Clinton attended rallies in 2016? Well, there was indeed a rise as well. In fact, Reason.com points out there was a higher amount of hate crimes where Hillary Clinton went over where Donald Trump went during his and her campaign rallies in 2016. Now, this should strike you as odd. One, that they both saw an increase, and two, they both see relatively the same increase in hate crimes. So what is the controlling factor that they did not control for? Well, Reason, who published all their data, they basically replicated the study that these Texas professors did, and they published all their data on GitHub, so you can take a look at their data as well, and suss it out for yourself, which I did. And I found it very, very compelling, because they draw the accurate conclusion, which is that the original study, the study by these Texas professors that was sourced by the Washington Post and Vox and CNN that claimed the 226% rise in hate crimes after Trump rallies, is not due to Trump at all. It has to do with the fact that presidential candidates tend to go to counties where there are larger populations. And so when your binary question is, did a rally occur in this county? Smaller counties are going to answer no, bigger counties are going to answer yes. And when you answer yes, those bigger counties also have higher crime rates because they are bigger populations. So just as you would expect New York City or Los Angeles to have a higher crime rate than Green Bay, Wisconsin, or Des Moines, Iowa, so too would you expect there to be higher crime rates in the places presidential candidates attended than they didn't attend, because presidential candidates attend places that have large amounts of people they can speak to. Relatively simple logic there. So Reason added a control for county size with the data, and what they found was that after controlling for county size, the statistical rise in hate crimes after a Trump rally was 0. It had no correlatory factor. Same is true of Hillary Clinton. Just as before, Reason was able to show after Hillary Clinton gave a rally, there was a rise in hate crime. If you controlled for the county, once again, it was reduced back to statistically 0, which I guess ultimately nullifies all of those headlines. So the 226% rise in hate crime after a Trump rally, nullified. But if that's the case, what's the larger lesson to be learned here? Well, one larger lesson is that journalists do not make very good mathematicians, nor statisticians, nor maybe should they. But it's something to be wary of whenever you see a headline claiming some sort of figure or number as a conclusion. Where did they get that data from? Has that data been peer-reviewed? Often it hasn't. In fact, often journalists aren't even aware if the journal or the information or the data sets they're looking at have been peer-reviewed, if the conclusions that the researchers initially drew were accurate. Because often, in this case, they're not. Or they have fundamental flaws to their data analysis. Anyway, hopefully you found this fascinating and we cleared up some misinformation, some fake news. Like, subscribe if you found this interesting. Indeed, sadly to report, neither Hillary Clinton nor Trump had any statistical impact on the rise of hate crimes after their rallies. So I'm sorry to both liberal and conservative fans out there. Your candidate had no perceptible fact on the amount of crimes committed after they held a rally. Is this good? Is this bad? I think it's just life. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.